Right, so this video is going to go a little bit differently than my other videos because normally I come here to teach you guys something, but today I'm actually coming here to learn something from you guys. But before we get into that, I do want to give you a quick couple of channel updates. And the first one is that we now have an open Discord server that you can join if you would like. You can go to the link down in the description below and you can join and sign up to the Discord server. It's currently a work in progress, not really a final product. So we may change around the rooms or the rules or whatever. But if you'd like to be a part of the process of helping choose the direction that we go with the server, then definitely join and leave your suggestions in the suggestions channel. In other news, if you look in the video description and you see the links to get my book and my course, you'll notice those links are different to what they used to be, and that's because I've switched to a different site for handling all of that. You can still use the old Gumroad site if you would like to purchase my products through there, but by purchasing them through Ko-fi, the fees are a little bit lower, so more of that actually goes to me. So if you have been thinking about getting your hands on the Lucid Dream book or my audio course, then please consider using the new links in the description rather than my old Gumroad links. And speaking of which, recently I reduced the price of the Lucid Dream book permanently, but I know some of you have been hoping that I would reduce the price on my audio course as well, so there is some great news there, which is that I have done exactly that. The audio course has now been reduced by 25% permanently. So with that news out of the way, let's get on to the video. So what is it that I want to learn from you guys? Well, let's give a bit of backstory here. So I recently made a poll asking you guys what was the main thing that you struggle with regards to lucid dreaming, whether it be, getting lucid, controlling your dreams, keeping them stable. I wanted to know what you guys struggled with. And I got a comment from one person saying that they struggled with dream control because they couldn't visualize things in their dream in order to, for example, spawn something. The problem they described was that when they try to visualize something in their dreams, they don't see anything in their head. Similar to, for example, the experience of aphantasia, the inability to visualize things with your mind's eye. Now I want to give a quick clarification here, which is that we're talking about imagining something within a dream. This person wasn't having any trouble seeing the dream world around them. They were in it, they were seeing the dream world, I assume, but what they were having problems with was imagining something within that dream. So, for example, visualizing a car before spawning the car. And that was kind of a head scratcher for me. I actually had to run a poll after this to ask how many of you guys have trouble visualizing things when you're in a dream. Because I kind of assumed that was the norm. You see, when I'm awake, let's say I'm sitting and meditating and I close my eyes and I picture something, I can picture it clearly. Same if I have open eyes. If I want to picture something in my head, I can picture it clearly. No problems there. But, just like the commenter, I generally don't see very much of anything in my mind's eye when I'm in a dream. Again, just to avoid any confusion here, I'm not talking about seeing the dream world itself. That I have no problem with. But if I'm, say, in my room, inside a dream, and I decide I want to go to the Eiffel Tower in Paris, if I imagine the Eiffel Tower being on the other side of my door, I'm generally not actually picturing the Eiffel Tower. I'm just having this thought or concept of the Eiffel Tower in my head. It seems like, in a way, when I'm actually dreaming, I have a mild form of aphantasia. When I'm dreaming, generally my thoughts are words and concepts rather than images. Now, it's not entirely true all of the time. Sometimes when I imagine something in a dream, I do see it in my mind's eye. But that is not the rule, that is the exception. Generally, when I'm in a dream and I decide to imagine something that, say, I'm going to spawn, I imagine the word or the concept. I don't actually tend to see it visually. And I just sort of assumed that was normal, because when you're in a dream, your thoughts behave a little bit differently to when you're awake. So I assumed the fact that my thoughts tend to be in words and concepts in my dreams, rather than being overly visual, was just the norm for everyone. But I decided to poll you guys on the channel. I ran a poll in the community tab, and according to that poll, 72% of respondents said that they could picture things clearly when they imagine in their dreams. The trouble is, after I made that poll, I realised that the way that I worded it, a lot of people may be thinking that I'm just talking about seeing things in your dreams. That I'm just talking about whether or not you can see the dream world around you when you're in a dream. That is definitely not what I'm referring to. As far as I'm aware, if you are a sighted individual, you will be able to see the dream world in 99% of cases. You might have some dreams where you can't see. I've had some like that before, but generally when you're in a lucid dream, you're going to be able to see the world around you. So I imagine it's possible some people were just responding as if I was asking about that. But what I'm actually asking about is, let's say you're in a dream, you're sitting in a room in your dream, and you want to be in a different room. If you decide to imagine in your head the different room that you're going to go into, do you see that in your head, or do you think of the word or the concept of the room that you want to go to? Because for me, I would say about 80% of the time, I tend to just think in words and concepts in my dreams, and only visualize things fairly rarely. Whereas when I'm awake, I tend to think entirely visually most of the time. Like, I'll have words as well, but I'm always picturing something when I'm thinking when I'm awake. So the purpose of this video was to ask you guys what your experiences with this are. When you are in a dream and you are lucid, if you decide you want to imagine something, let's say you want to spawn something, if you try to imagine that in your head, do you see it in your mind's eye, or do you just have a concept in your mind, or do you just have words in your mind? Because I'm very curious if that means that the other 28% of us that mostly think in words and concepts in our dreams have some form of mild aphantasia that just for whatever reason only affects us in our dreams and not while we're awake. Or is that just a norm and did I just word my poll poorly? So yeah, that is my question for you guys today. If you try to imagine something while you're in a dream, do you picture it in your mind's eye? Do you think of the concept? Do you think of the word? Is it like me where it varies but tends more towards one or the other? Let me know down in the comments below. And once again, I would like to remind you that we have that Discord server, so if you would be interested in joining that, check out the link in the description. And if you'd like to learn more about lucid dreaming, be sure to check out the Lucid Dream book. There'll be a link in the description down below or in the top right hand corner right now. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and enable all notifications so you can stay up to date when my new videos come out. And if you want to keep watching, check out one of the videos on screen, go watch that, and I'll see you there soon. Take care and have some awesome lucid dreams.